Hi, this is Ben with askasoundguy.com. So I'm doing another tutorial today about sidechain compression. A lot of people consider this a rather advanced mixing strategy. It can be, just because it requires you to know a few things about the routing on your selected DAW, and also you should know a little bit about compression before you really mess with this kind of stuff. What we're doing, if you're not aware of what sidechain compression is, it's a technique used a lot in electronic music, specifically electro house. It's also used in a lot of R&B and R&B music. A lot of times it's used to give that kick a little extra power, and also make the bass a little more present. Usually how it works is you'll have a kick, and every time that kick hits, it attenuates the level of the kick, but also boosts the level of the bass, whenever that kick hits. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be doing basically the same thing, only with a four on the floor kick and a synth. So this is what I've come up with, and I'm by no means a producer, so don't expect this to be very good. So that is with the sidechain compression happening. That's what it sounds like when it works, right? So I'm gonna go into my effects. I'm just gonna disable this compressor, and this is what it sounds like without being sidechained. Okay, so as you can see, it's just a few simple chords. I mean, it's very basic. Something just to get through this tutorial. So we have that. Then we have, like I said, our kick. Now I'm gonna show you how to do this specifically in Reaper. Now this can be done in any modern DAW. I'd be really surprised, to find one that didn't have this ability. Anything that has routing can do this. So what you're first going to do is you're going to go to your kick. Now this is fine. This doesn't need to be set up really. What you really need to focus on is whatever you want to be sidechained, and in this case, our synth lead. We're going to go to the I/O. First, what we're going to do is we're going to change our track channels from 2, which is what it is. 2 is 1 stereo track, and we're going to change it to 4, which is 2 stereo tracks. This is important because that extra stereo track is what's going to allow the sidechain to happen. It's going to be our auxiliary track. Next, what you're going to want to do is go to Add, New Receive, and in this case I chose my kick because I want my synth to receive the kick. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to change this from audio 1-2 to audio 3-4. We want it to receive from 3-4. Yeah, I mean this is important, because if you're not receiving it from the auxiliary input, your sidechain is not going to be happening, and yeah, then you won't get that awesome effect. So in this case, we've got on the synth lead 4 tracks, and then we've got this going from audio 1-2 to audio 3-4, which is exactly what we want. So after that's all set up, we're going to go to the effects. Now, this is another, just like my my tutorial on bussing with the reverb and stuff. These are my settings that I found for this tutorial and that I kind of like. You can do a lot of different stuff. There's no real rules. Just do it until it sounds good. So I've got the threshold -24.5 dB, 12.9 attack, 9 release, and about a 7.5 to 1 ratio on the compressor. Now this is the most important part. You want the compressor to receive the auxiliary input left and right. That's your second stereo track 3 and 4, and that's exactly what we set it up in the I/O to do. It went from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, right? So So yeah, this is exactly how it should be. Now this is, just in case you haven't figured it out, this is ReaComp. This is the compressor that comes with Reaper. It is available. It is able to do side chaining, which is awesome, especially for something that's free. Oh, and by the way, I'm using this Crystal, great free VST synth. I'll throw a link to it in the tutorial text. It's cool. Now, now that you have all your settings set up, I'm going to play it again without. So I'm going to disable the comp and play it. Okay, so even though it didn't play from the beginning, you still have an idea what it sounds like. Now, I'm going to add the compressor in there, and let's hear what it sounds like when it's sidechain compressed. And there you go. I mean, you can take the threshold down more. But I mean, look at that. That's what, like 26? That's 26 dB gain reduction. That's pretty heavy compression. I mean, you can really nuke it with the ratio too if you really want. Basically, I mean, play with it. Play with the attack. Play with the release too. Also remember, all of these effects are automatable, which will be an entirely other series of tutorials I anticipate. But I mean, look, you can do the threshold, the ratio. So, you know, you can do stuff like during breakdowns and stuff, you can increase the release, you know, back it off, do whatever you want. Sidechain compression is, like I said, it's supposed to be a rather advanced topic. But I think it's pretty easy to see that with just memorizing a few steps and understanding how you're routing and how compression works, you can do a lot with it. And like I said, artists like deadmau5, who uses this all the time in his tracks, he's proof that he's a master of the technique, and you can get great sounding results with an awesome synth and maybe a better compressor. Maybe spring, you know, for any number of great compressors out there instead of a free one and try it on then. So if you have any questions, drop by the askasoundguy.com forums or send me an email, ben.versluis@gmail.com. Again, this will all be in the text for the tutorial. Until then, check out my other tutorials. If you're looking for something specific, shoot me an email. Hit me up on Ask a Sound Guy. Hit me up on my own blog, benversluis.com, and I'd be happy to help. So thanks for listening, and hopefully I helped you produce better electronic music. Thanks.